Hey, good afternoon. My name is Kevin Gilmore with the National Weather Service New Orleans Baton Rouge office located in Slidell, Louisiana. This is your weekly weather briefing for Thursday, September 10th. Quick situation overview. Rain chances will be on the increase starting tomorrow, lasting through the weekend and may even last towards the early part and middle part of next week. Temperatures staying hot in the afternoon, max heat indices around the 99 to 106 degree range, but not expected to become overly excessive due to the increased rain chances. Tropics are very active as we are monitoring several waves and disturbances out in the Atlantic and 2 tropical storms out in the central Atlantic. And then we're going to take a quick peek at the extended 6 to 10 day outlook. Here's a current overview of the weather map of the United States showing what we're seeing across the entire United States. Across Louisiana, we're seeing some showers, mainly offshore areas, and then also across western Louisiana. The showers out in West Louisiana is due to a cold front that is slowly trying to dissipate over East Texas, and this front will continue to dissipate as well. For our area, our focus is what you're seeing circled there. That is a tropical disturbance now in the northeast Gulf of Mexico. This will be slowly parading off to the west for the next several days through the weekend. The main impacts with this system is going to be an increase in rain chances across the area and currently has a 20% of development in the tropics for the next 5 days. Behind that system is another tropical wave near the Bahamas. This one's also going to follow behind the lead wave, crossing the southern parts of Florida and across the Florida Keys. And this one has a 40% of development, or what we call a medium chance of tropical development in the next 5 days. This system will be crossing, like I said, across the Keys and entering the Gulf late this weekend into early next week, and then bring with it another round of the chance for heavy rain and possibly even some thunderstorms across the area, going all the way through middle to maybe even parts of the later part of next week. So as we just mentioned with the lead wave, the chance of rain is going to be going up starting tomorrow. We'll be seeing some scattered showers and thunderstorms just about at any part of the day, mainly towards the mid to late morning, going through the afternoon and even lasting to the evening hours. And this will be both for Friday and Saturday. As we get into Saturday, we'll see a little bit more numerous coverage in showers and storms. Then beyond that, going into Sunday and then on Monday, much more numerous widespread showers and storms. Of course, the main threats with any one stronger storm will be locally heavier rain, dangerous lightning, and maybe a few gusty winds. Forecast total precipitation starting early Friday, going all the way through early Wednesday in the middle part of next week. We see that the focus for the heaviest rainfall is going to be around coastal areas of southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, with less amounts as you go further inland. Now, this is an average total precipitation forecast. What we want people to realize is that when a tropical air mass, there's so much moisture in the atmosphere, we can get a lot heavier rainfall totals, especially if any bands want to form with these tropical disturbances passing through. So these are average rainfall amounts, but there could be locally higher amounts, especially if you see for your area, for example, 2 to 3 inches in Homa. You could see locally higher amounts in and around the city, possibly double that, maybe around 3 to 6 possibly. So something to consider as we go in through the next several days is that we're going to be really in depth into a wet weather pattern here all the way through the middle part of next week. Here's the current tropical overview from the National Hurricane Center, the chance of development for the next 5 days. We notice there is a lot on this map, and we're going to go over each disturbance specifically, one by one, starting with farther off to the west first, the one we were just talking about, the tropical disturbance in the northeast Gulf of Mexico. It only has a 20% chance, or what we call a low chance of development for the next 5 days. The only impacts with this system across southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi will be heavy rain. Following this one is going to be another tropical wave back near the Bahamas. This one has a 40% chance of development in the next 5 days. It'll be crossing the southern tip of Florida and then getting to the Gulf of Mexico and bring yet another round of heavy rain across the area. Those are the only impacts we're expecting at this time, as we are not really expecting much in the way of development, but we'll still keep a very close eye on that. Going further back in the central Atlantic, we have a lot of activity there as well. Paulette and Rene are tropical storms, and they are continuing as tropical storms. These are not expected to impact anywhere in Louisiana and Mississippi, let alone anywhere across the United States, as these storms will continue off toward the northwest and then recurve up towards the north, not really impacting much areas of population other than Paulette. Paulette does have the chance of actually impacting Bermuda, getting a little bit later towards next week. Rene will be probably strengthening to near hurricane strength, but also will dissipate out in the central Atlantic. We also see there are 2 waves even behind those 2 storms, one with a 90%, a high chance of development behind Rene. That one could become a depression as well. And then we could also see that there is a 40% chance for development for a tropical wave just off the coast of Africa. That actually has the potential to develop too. So it's just a reminder that this time of year, this is what we bring up. Today marks actually the historical peak of hurricane season. We're in the dead center of it, climatologically speaking. This is when we see the most frequency of tropical storms and hurricanes. We see that a lot of the season is already complete, but we still have a lot more to go. And the latest outlook from the Climate Prediction Center actually now mentions that we are entering La Nina conditions. And what does that mean? La Nina means weaker vertical wind shear and trade winds, which usually vertical wind shear is what harms tropical systems. But in this case, if they're weaker, that's good for tropical storm development. Also less atmospheric stability, which is going to also help development of thunderstorms. All this can lead to the potential for increased tropical activity. And the fact that we're in the peak of hurricane season, given the fact that we're in La Nina conditions, we may have a little bit more to go with the hurricane season, at least for the next month or two before we end towards the end of it, technically around November 30th. But again, it just indications are telling us that we're going to kind of continue to see this active pattern, at least for the next little while. Taking a look at the day 6 through 10 temperature and precipitation outlook across the area. Talking about precipitation first, there is a high probability of above normal precipitation across southeast Louisiana and southern Mississippi, which addresses these waves that are parading across, and potential for higher rain totals even beyond that, going 6 to 10 days. And as far as temperatures go, there's a medium to an above normal probability of above normal temperatures across the area. So maybe a little bit hotter than normal, and then wetter than normal conditions can be expected beyond the 3 to 5 day forecast, even going day 6 and 10. So just a summary of what we discussed, rain chances are on the increase starting tomorrow, lasting through the weekend and early to middle part of next week. Temperatures are staying hot, but not overly hot, not overly excessive due to the chance of increased rain chances across the area. Tropics are very active. We're monitoring several waves and disturbances. We got one coming through the Northeast Gulf and one following that, and the main impacts here is just going to be increased chances of rain. And then the extended 6 through 10 day outlook, like we just talked about, indicates a high probability of above average precipitation with a moderate to high probability of above normal temperatures. And we'll end it there, and I hope everyone has a great rest of the week and a great weekend.